Hello and welcome to Organic Edible Garden. As we head now to the end of winter, we're going to put in an insectary, and this is going to bring in all our good bugs to deal with the bad bugs that spring growth attracts. And we'll also plant some potatoes in a bag so we can enjoy a very early crop. I'm planting this bed by my tunnel house, which is going to help protect them against aphids and other bugs during the spring growth. But I'm also planting another similar bed up in my vegetable gardens. The bad bugs overwinter in weeds around your garden, and as the temperature warms up, they're on the lookout for fresh spring growth to feed on. We've chosen plants that can withstand the cold wind and the chills of winter. And we've also chosen plants that will provide enough pollen and nectar for our beneficial insects to live on. I can put things at random places. I'm planting these plants not only for beauty, but for practical reasons, so it doesn't really matter where I put them and what colours I use. Another bonus of putting in an insectary is that you attract the bumblebees to the garden. And the bumblebees are such a good pollinator. And what they do, they're one of the few insects that can pollinate your tomatoes because they vibrate when they're on the flower. I'm going to put a lot of alyssum in the garden. Not only will it spread and smother the weeds, but it's one of the best plants for pollen and nectar for your beneficial insects. We're going to add a bit of general fertiliser and then we're going to cover it up. The chickens think the bed's for them, so a bit of netting will keep them out. It's about 6 weeks away before I'll put in my early season potatoes, which should be ready at Christmas. But because I like potatoes earlier than that, I start them off by planting them in bags. I use a bag about the size of a PB40. I can put 4 or 5 potatoes in this and it will still give me a few meals. The benefit of using a black plastic bag is I can shift it to where the sun is. I make sure it's near the side of the house that's north facing and doesn't get a frost. The great thing about using a bag like a PB is that you can actually roll it down and you can plant the potatoes in and they get enough light. As the potatoes grow up, you can unroll the bag again to its full height and get the maximum amount of potatoes. We put about 5 centimetres on the bottom of each bag. This is enough to put the potatoes on and let the roots grow down. And in each bag we can put about 4 or 5 potatoes. Here we've got 2 varieties. We've got some mouldy potatoes, the Euronikas, which have sprouted, and also some of my own potatoes which have just sprouted in the cupboard, but they're still fine to use. Then we'll put soil on top to about 5 centimetres above the potatoes. Within a couple of weeks, the shoots will be coming through. At the same time, we're just going to give it a bit of rock dust fertiliser. This is always a good fertiliser for any type of root crop. And as the shoots come through, we'll add more soil. And as we add more soil, we'll also roll up the bag. So eventually, the bag will be at its original height with shoots on top. The next thing we're going to do is give it a good water, and then we're going to put it in a warm, sunny position, out of the wind and frost. And depending on the weather, I'm hoping these will be ready early November. And even though the potatoes we grow in bags are never going to be as prolific as those we grow in the ground, if we want early potatoes and we don't want them to rot, growing in the bag is really our only option.